Hello everyone and welcome to day 3 of SQL development course. In today's session we are going to learn about constraints in SQL Server. In our yesterday's session or in the last session we have learned about data types in SQL Server, as well as we have also seen how we can create database and tables. So today we are going to show those same command in SQL Server Management Studio. And once we are done with that, we are going to learn about the constraint. So let me open my SQL Server Management Studio. So this is SSMS 2021 or version 21, but I have installed SQL Server 2019 in my system, and I have also restored one database called AdventureWorks 2019 database. This database you can also find in Google, and you can download and you can restore this database for practice. And as a DBA, you must be knowing how we can install SQL Server or SSMS, so you can do it by yourself. So in today's video, we are going to execute few of the commands. First command, we are going to learn about the create database. So if you remember, yesterday we have seen few of the commands. So let's start, like what are the correct or what are the incorrect syntaxes for creating a database. So here, if you see first, we can see that we only have one user database, that is AdventureWorks 2019. Others we have default system databases. Those are master, MSDB, model, and TempDB. So if I want to create a database, and if I have the database like spaces in between the name, so let's see if it works. It will not work because it says like syntax error near this. Okay, and if this is the database name which I want, for example, as ddf underscore gg, then space sss, it will not work because again we have a space between the name. I mean the here in the name. And if we try to run this command where we are creating a database and the database name is starting with 123 numeric value, it will again fail. It will say that incorrect syntax near 123. So these are the incorrect syntaxes. So please avoid using that because anyway, these are not going to work. Now we'll see what are the alternate for this one. For example, if you want to create a database with the name where we need space, so what we can do, we can put this bracket here. Okay. Now if once I put the bracket here and if I try to create a database, you see the database is created. You can go here, you can refresh, and you can find this database is present here, right? Again, if you want to create database with this, there are two options. Either you can do this. This will create a database here. The database is created with the same name which we have given, right? Or there are another option is we can keep another underscore here, right? So here this database will also be created. Okay. If we go and refresh it, you will see this database is also created. Now there is no alternate for this. If you want to, I mean, you cannot create database with a name starting with a digit or numeric number. What you can do, there is another way to create a database for, I think this should work. For example, sales May. If I will run this, it will definitely fail because we have space in between. And if I will keep this double quotes, let's see if it works. Right, so it works. So you can also create database with this style, or maybe putting the database names where we have space it inside the double quotes, right? So this is what we have done. So there are different ways to create a database, which I have already shown you today. If you want to run any command in the database, the default database will come as master. If you want to use another database of where we want to create a table, then we need this command use, and then we can give the database name. So here in my case, the database names are sales. So database will always it will show automatically. You can create, for example, I will use this database. So okay, let's see. I will use this database and I will create a few tables inside this database, right? So I will see use this database name, right? Now we have seen few of the templates as well yesterday where we can create tables. Okay, so let me put those commands here. Okay, so we are trying with this command which we have seen yesterday. So if I execute this, it is saying the definition for column product ID must include a data type. So here you can see the data type is missing like int or character varchar. The database is data type is missing. That's why we are getting this error. So always we need to give the data type. Here we are giving the data type. Let's see here everything is correct, but this order is a keyword, SQL keyword. So we cannot use order. Maybe we can say like order one. This will definitely work. Okay. See, this worked. Other thing is, again, this is a space in the name, so it will not work. We need to give either this one, this will work. Yeah, this worked. So tables has been created in this database. If you refresh it and if you see this, the tables which we have tried, those data tables you can see like these two tables, right? Another thing is this. If you run this command, it will not work because there is no parenthesis, right? So we need to give the parenthesis here, this one and this one to make it work. Sorry, my bad again. Right, so it is created. Another thing is here, if you see, if you run this command, it will not work because ID column we have given twice. We can give any other name to this one, then this command will also work. Right, so this is how we can create tables. So there are other ways, for example, constraints, how we can use the constraints. So let's move back to the slides and we will see what are the constraints. Okay, so what are the constraints? So as its name suggests that constraints are something called limitation, right? Or it will prevent you to insert something, right? So those are the limitations. So by the definition, if we go, it is a rules, or those are the rules applied to the columns of a table to enforce the integrity, accuracy, and reliability of the data. They ensure that only valid data is inserted, updated, or deleted from a table. So those constraints are widely used in SQL Server development. There are different types of concerns, so those constraints will limit the value which we want to insert into a table or into a column. So there are different kinds of constraints in SQL Server. Unique constraint, we have not null constraints, primary key constraints, foreign key constraints, check constraints, and default constraints. I hope you have heard all of them, or if not, then at least primary key and foreign key constraint you must have heard about those constraints. So we'll go one by one, and first one is the not null. So it ensures that a column cannot have a null value. So when you put this constraint inside the table definition, for example, here create table employee ID int not null. So int is a data type in this ID column, and this not null is a constraint. So when you created this table and when you insert the data, you cannot keep this ID as null. So it will ensure that it will have some value. Another one is unique constraint. So a unique constraint ensure all values in a column are different, no duplicates. So here we can create a table called user and email we can put as unique. So there are certain business rules are also applied. For example, here we can say like email should not be duplicates, like two emails are not allowed with the same value. So we will put the unique constraint. So if you are inserting an email ID, for example, abc@abc.com, and if you insert the same value again, it will give you error, that because we have unique constraint, and if you are inserting that duplicate value, so it will give you error. But there is one thing about the unique constraint, that unique constraint allows only one null per table. So this is also sometimes asked in the interview, that whether unique constraint allow null or not. So yes, it allow nulls, but only once, because if you inserted null once, it will, if you try to insert the null again, it will give you the duplicate error. Now the primary key, favorite of everyone, I think. So this basically uniquely identifies each record in a table, and it's a combination of not null plus unique. So not null basically ensures that you must insert some value in that particular column, and unique will basically make sure that this value is unique and it is not repeated. Only one primary key we can create per table. So example is create table students, student ID int. Int is a data type, and primary key name we can have varchar 50. So here we are making sure that this is a primary key, so no student ID will be duplicate. It will be like one ID per student. And important thing is that when you create a primary key constraint on a table, SQL Server automatically creates a clustered index on that particular column. The condition is there should not be already existed cluster index. So these things also will make sure we will cover in later sessions. Now we have the foreign key. Foreign key constraints. So foreign key constraints ensures a value in a column exists in another table's primary key, and it maintains the referential integrity. Let's understand with the example. So for we have that we have a table called customer, and here customer ID we are keeping as primary key, and we have another table which is called order, and here order ID is the primary key. But now if you want to rate both of the table, so if you think about the business logic, that if someone is ordering something, that order should have the customer ID, right? So now what we can do, this customer ID column here in the order table, we are making it as foreign key, and this foreign key will relate to the customer table and customer table's primary key, that is customer ID. So we are referring this customer ID here as a foreign key, and this customer ID here is a primary key in the uh, other table. This means you cannot insert an order with a customer ID that does not exist in the customers table. So this is about the foreign key. We will understand this more in when we will do this in SSMS, maybe in the next session. Now we have the check constraint. It ensures that the value in a column meets a specific condition. For example, here we are creating a table called products, and where price is in the decimal, but we are making sure that no one will insert a price that is in the negative or it is less than zero. Okay, so that's what we are here mentioning in check constraint. Now we have the default constraint. So in the default constraint, we can like assign a default value to a column if no value is provided. For example, this create table, we have employee table we have created, and we are getting one column called joining date. So if no one is entering the joining date, it will by default take the get date, means it will take the current date. So if you want to have the default value inside a column, you can have this default constraint. So these are the constraints, and what are the benefits of using the constraint? So it ensures that data, like it ensures the data integrity, that data is correct, okay, and that data is valid. It prevents invalid data entry. So yeah, we can make sure that the data entry which user is doing it, or the entries in that table is always valid. It enforces business rules at the database level, and it reduces the need for the manual checks in the application code. So those are the benefits of using the constraint. So I have few questions for all of you. Those are the interview questions. Please go ahead and prepare for this and try to find the answer of these questions. It will help you in the interview. So this is it for today, and I'll see you in the next session. Till then, take care.